It's 1 in the morning. Your body is heavy, your eyes sting, and you have to be awake in 6 hours. Yet your thumb keeps moving across the screen. If you know exactly what you should do, and absolutely nothing is stopping you from doing it, why does a stubborn part of you still refuse to go to bed? In 2014, Dutch psychologist Kroese gave this behavior a name: bedtime procrastination. She defined it as failing to go to sleep at the intended time when no external circumstances are in your way. Kroese's initial research linked the habit to poor self-regulation. The data suggested that staying up late was a failure of impulse control, a simple inability to steer yourself toward what you actually want. This chart captures how common that struggle is. In a survey of nearly 200 people, 30% were sleeping 6 hours or less on weeknights. More importantly, 84% of them reported feeling daytime fatigue at least once a week. This explanation is easy to believe because it lines up with the guilt you feel at 2 in the morning. It frames your sleep deficit as a character flaw, a lack of willpower that you just haven't managed to fix yet. But the guilt might be misleading you. The idea that staying up late is a sign of weakness ignores how our brains actually manage energy throughout the day. In 2018, a study by researcher Kamphorst challenged the idea of willpower as a fixed trait. The study looked at self-control as a resource that drains, much like a battery, as you use it. Every time you force yourself through a meeting, bite your tongue during an argument, or resist a snack, you spend a portion of that resource. By the time night falls, a taxing day has emptied the tank. When you finally reach your bedroom, you have nothing left to make one more good decision. Even closing your eyes feels like a task you can no longer afford. The cost is small, but cumulative. Kamphorst's data showed an average delay of about 22 minutes a night. Over a month, that adds up to an entire night of lost sleep. This suggests that bedtime procrastination is a symptom of a day that ran you dry, rather than a lack of discipline. This is where the term revenge bedtime procrastination comes from. It's a translation of the Chinese expression 报复性熬夜, or retaliatory staying up late. The revenge is against a day that didn't belong to you. Think about a nurse like Maya. She works 12-hour shifts where every minute belongs to patients, to her manager, or her roommates. She is highly disciplined all day, giving her time to everyone else. When she finally gets home at 11, she stares at her phone, watching videos she doesn't even like. She stays there until 2 in the morning because those are the first hours of the day that no one can take from her. Sleep scientist Su-Yan Su studied this behavior and pointed to a state called low perceived daytime autonomy. It's the feeling that your time and your choices are never actually your own. The behavior is irrational on the surface and weirdly logical underneath. You're trading tomorrow's energy for tonight's autonomy, and in the moment, that trade feels worth it. This is a needs problem, not a knowledge problem. You already know sleep is important, but you can't discipline your way out of a day that leaves you feeling powerless. Think of those late nights as a message. Your days aren't leaving enough room for you. Trying to white-knuckle your way into bed usually fails because it asks for even more self-control from a tank that is already empty. The more effective move is to claim autonomy while it's still daylight. If you plant small, 15-minute pockets of time that you control during the afternoon, you meet the need for freedom before you're depleted. To help your exhausted self, use an if-then plan. This flowchart shows the logic. You decide in the afternoon that if it turns 11, then your phone goes on a charger across the room. You're letting your rested self handle the decision-making in advance. You can also change your environment to make sleep the path of least resistance. Charging your phone in another room or putting a book where you normally reach for a screen removes the need to be strong at your weakest moment. Fixing your sleep starts at noon. When you reclaim small moments of control during the day, the desperate midnight grab for freedom loses its power. Reclaiming your day is the best way to save your night. Subscribe for more breakdowns of the science behind our habits, and tell me in the comments, what is the one 15-minute pocket of time you're going to reclaim tomorrow? I'll see you in the next one.